It was such a special day for both of us. It's a unique situation because we do weddings all the time for other people. The biggest advice that people gave us, really enjoy this time as mother and daughter because it's so special and it's once in a lifetime.
Yes, it's our day, of course. It's Mom's Day too.
Looking back now as the mother, not the wedding planner,
Yes.
I have three things that I can hold on to from that day. I've got my pictures, my video, and then I have this beautiful preservation piece.
Hi, my name is Andrea, and besides of being recently married, I own the leading company in bouquet preservation in the world. It is when connecting with my clients that I felt the need to serve them and help them navigate this new and exciting journey. On this podcast, we bring you everything you need to know to plan the wedding of your dreams. We'll be featuring conversations with top wedding vendors and valuable tips and advice from real couples. Whether you're engaged or simply love, this podcast is for you. So sit back, relax, and let's get started on this journey to your perfect wedding day. Welcome to the club, to Bridal Club.
Welcome back to Bridal Club. Today I have two very special guests, a mom and daughter duo. The mom is a wedding planner and the daughter just got married this past April, so like 8 months ago. This episode is so special because you're going to get to listen to them talk about their relationship, how planning the wedding together was. As you guys know, I didn't really have that experience just because my wedding was 30 people. I didn't even plan my wedding, to be honest. And my mom would tell me all the time, I feel like I'm not helping. What should I do? And I was like, Mom, I feel like I'm not doing anything either. So I didn't have that experience, unfortunately, but I know most of you do. Obviously, they did. And so I want to listen them both talk about their perspective of planning the wedding together. One of the most special memories from my wedding was when we were at the dance floor and my brother came behind me and hugged me and asked me to look at my mom. We looked at her and he told me to stop doing what I was doing, to stop thinking what I was thinking, and just really looked at her. The reason why is because that joy in my mother's face that day was unforgettable. That look is one that I want to remember forever. It was in this moment, because again, I didn't have that planning experience with her, that I realized that yes, it was my day, but it was hers as well too.
Right.
So Delia and Avery, thank you so much for being here today. Delia, we're going to start with you.
Okay.
Why don't you tell our audience who you are and everything about your business?
I am Delia Jeffcoat. I own Delia Jeffcoat Events, and I have had the business for about 4 years now. I actually was in the dental field for 25 years, now in the wedding planning business, and I just love everything about it. I've always wanted to be an event planner. I did parties here and there, and when COVID happened, I literally just was sitting on the couch one day, and it was like the first couple of weeks, and I was like, I'm going to make a life change here. That's what I did. And it has paid off. And I'm so blessed and thankful and super busy now. I love being with people. And it's a difference from the 8 to 5 that I was in every day. So many people get stuck in that and want to make a change. I've had so many people come up to me and be like, how did you do it? And you just have to take that step, believe in yourself and believe that you can make this work. And, self-employed business is not bad. It's really great.
But it's a lot of work too.
Oh, it's a whole lot of work.
And you are
yes.
so passionate about what you do and who you're serving.
Sure. I just want everybody to have that experience where you just talked about that with your mother. You just want those touches to happen throughout the day, even though the day goes so fast. That's the one thing I tell people is just soak it in, before they walk down the aisle. I literally just have them take a deep breath, try to remember this moment right here, and it's just really important to me.
I love that. Hi, Avery. Your wedding was so beautiful. You guys did such an amazing job. Tell me more about your wedding.
We had so much fun. We had all of our family and friends in the same spot. And that's like the coolest part about a wedding and this celebration is you really have like all these people from all different parts of your life in the exact same room to celebrate you and your husband. And it's just such an amazing time. I mean, Mom, she did amazing. It was such a special day for both of us. It's a unique situation because we do weddings all the time for other people. We have a great team and trusted them, and they went above and beyond to help us. The biggest advice that people gave us throughout the whole wedding process, they were like, really enjoy this time as mother and daughter because it's so special and it's once in a lifetime.
From your perspective, what was it planning a wedding with your mom? Because again, I really didn't have that experience, unfortunately. I know that my sister right now is planning her wedding. She's actually getting married in April. And awesome. They're actually planning it together and making a lot of decisions together. I did not have that. How was it with you? Do you think it was a little stressful, or do you think it was like super flawless? Were you on the same page all the time?
There were points that it was stressful. We sit down and we're like, okay, it's the bride's vision here. I just have to always focus on making sure I pull her ideas out because it's very hard. And I was the mother too of the bride. And I'm seeing it go this way. And she had her ideas. And I'm like, you've got to speak up and tell the vendors what you want here. And so I think that's very important. How did you feel about it?
So for other people, no problem. For us, I think the more difficult part was we have seen so many weddings and so much inspiration that it was hard almost to narrow down, like, what are we going to do to make art? This is art. It's a great thing because it's so special.
She's an only child. One shot at this to get this like she wants it and how I've dreamed about it because especially the field that I'm in. And we had an incredible designer. So he just helped us so much.
Wow.
And gave us a few surprises, which were great. And you just got to trust your vendors.
Yes,
at the end of the day, that's just huge.
You know what I was thinking, Delia, just yesterday? Wedding planners are basically like the president of a company. Of course, the bride is the CEO, right? They're making like the biggest decisions. But you guys are managing, they're not working necessarily for you, but they're working with you. Like it truly is like a precedent, like for that day. Yes, of course, like you make things pretty and stuff like that, but the managing the people is a lot of work.
Right.
We knew this is the time. We're going to sit back and enjoy. And then another time, okay, this is when we need to make decisions. You know, we kind of had a long engagement. So that helped. One, for her business, because she was already booked for a bunch of weddings.
Right.
So just to be able to be the mom and be the planner for our wedding, we spaced it out.
I was engaged for 2 years as well.
Yeah.
You get to enjoy being engaged because otherwise you get engaged and literally the next day you already have a venue. You don't even enjoy being engaged for more than 24 hours.
Right.
So having an engagement, it doesn't have to be 2 years, but we definitely recommend that. We've talked about this before. Just enjoy being engaged. I mean, you're going to feel like you're flirting.
Oh, flirting.
Right?
It's great.
Yeah.
So crazy.
I'm like, okay, I'm ready to get married. But then I'm so thankful because when the crunch time came, a lot of those decisions had already been taken care of.
Yes. Okay. Top 3 in short moments of your wedding. You go first.
I loved the first look with Michael was like such a special time. We chose to do first look.
Is it because it was just you both basically or?
Yeah. I was most nervous during that time.
Really?
Like right before. I think it was just like, oh my gosh, it's happening. You can see in our video, we've made it. We're at our day and we get to celebrate. It just gives me chills remembering that moment. And then the second one was probably the first dances. Those were really fun. Used Studio 22 here in Dallas. Michael and I did like a mix of some songs. Dad and we did like a sweet song and then we broke out into hip hop. Mom even came out on the end. That was really fun. So the crowd loved it. So it was a top favorite, I think, for a lot of people. They're like, the dances. And then we crowd surfed too. That was such a fun memory.
It was a lot of fun. And of course, I'm a nervous wreck the whole time because we're in a clear tent and they have these guide wires that go across because we had a floral installation in the ceiling and they're like bumping him up and down. And I go into planner mode, mom, and I'm like, oh my gosh, don't get near the wires, you know. So it was good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I think getting ready at the spa was really special for the girls because we chose Big Cedar Lodge. And so it was a resort that we were able to utilize some different spots on property. And the spa was amazing. I love that. And I always tell my girls that please find a place that is comfortable and a place that you can relax, get your hair and makeup done, have food and drinks and not be too crammed and be on top of each other. Plenty of good lighting. That is huge, especially for hair and makeup.
Yes.
And so I enjoyed that time. I think the dances were fantastic.
Obviously, your wedding dress was stunning. And yours, Mom.
Thank you.
Oh, my word.
Amazing.
Probably one of my best experiences ever was having Nardos design. Funny story, I met her. She has 2 locations. She has one in New York and then she has one here in Dallas. And
what a dream.
We were shopping for my wedding dress in New York. I got it at Kleinfeld. So we told them a budget and everything was great there. They stayed within it and helped us find like my dream dress. I loved it.
They were amazing.
So pretty.
Yes. So we were in New York and we were like, well, we need to go look for a Mother of the Bride dress.
So I was like, well, I'm a little obsessed with Nardos. You know, she does.
Say everybody.
Everyone. She can design anything, anytime for me. I hope she listens to this. And so literally we walk in and I'm thinking I'm going to buy off the rack. Okay. So I'm thinking she's got some things on the rack and I can just buy off the rack. And maybe something would even be on sale. I was just so excited. And I'll walk in and I do not even look to the left. And she is dressing in a mannequin and she speaks to me and says, "It's cold out, isn't it?" And I was like, "It's so cold." And I'm looking straight ahead because it's just
all the beautiful,
unbelievable gowns,
Oh my
you know,
gosh.
just beautiful. And so I'm walking in, and then they hear my Southern accent and they figure out that I'm from the South, and they're like, "Where are you from?" You know, and then we got to talking, and then, it was over then because once I met her,
Oh, you can't go back. Of
no going
course.
back. And she
Yeah.
just took me, and I was a little timid, and she just took me and put me there and was just talk to me and just put her hands on me and was like, "Okay, let's go," and started measuring me. And
So did you pick a dress or?
yes, I
Okay.
found a few that
Oh,
we
wow.
kind of
So it was like
like.
custom to you.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
see, like how special this is.
Yes.
Again, yes, it's our day, of course.
Yes.
But it's Mom's Day
But see,
too.
so I had just found my dress, so I was so happy.
Yes.
We had gone to eat. We were so excited. And then getting to be so excited for her.
And I didn't want to take anything away from her, but she was so excited. Like, do
yes,
it.
we're going. Like, this is awesome. And then, like, one, we had that taken care of on the list, but that was such an incredible experience.
It was.
I know. It was like so perfect.
Everything's very detailed for me, and all my vendors were perfect and showing up, and we had no problems. I always tell everybody there's always something usually that's going to be a little trip up, and you just have to roll with it. So I had to take my own advice, and the car that she was supposed to leave in, it was a vintage, beautiful car. And Friday, they could not get it working correctly. It worked the day before and they had problems with it. It was a massive storm that day, the day before her wedding. Massive. We're in the middle of the country, not near people that I know, you know, that I can just source from.
Yes.
And so literally I had a friend that was like, "I'm going to help you." And they owned car dealerships. And she was like, "We're in the mountains. I've got a souped up Raptor." And I had to go to her, and I was like, "Okay,
you know what? It'll be fine."
It was beautiful.
Oh my gosh, it worked out so well.
Well, it worked out so well that
beautiful.
they are on the cover of Inside Weddings that will
Yes.
release
Yes.
next week.
It releases.
And that's the
Yes.
cover.
Oh
And so
my.
it was
We
great.
needed to be in that car.
That's
But
awesome.
yeah, it was a major storm that weekend.
Wow.
And it was such, I mean, like, we were praying and just like,
It
what
was
are we
it
gonna
was
do?
rough.
That's what you have to do. You just have to
Right.
pray. It was kind of like my experience too, because we had a tent and it was like drizzling the days before, and we're like, "Oh my God, it's gonna."
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm so glad it didn't ruin your day.
But it was supposed to.
Mhm.
And so I'll talk about the Friday night super fast. So we're walking to the rehearsal. It's sideways rain pouring down.
Oh my
We
God.
do the rehearsal in the church, and then we walk out, and it's still sprinkling. You know, we said a prayer. We're just like, "Please make it stop." I was just, a nervous wreck a little bit, but I was like, it's going to be fine. We're still going to get married. Weather, you can't control. It's just going to happen, and it's going to be okay.
Yeah. At the end of the day, if it rains, it's luck, right?
That's
You kinda-
right.
you
That's
kinda
what they
just-
say.
But it ended up being fine. We sit down to dinner, and they have these big glass sliding doors in the back of the dinner space.
Yes.
And so they had slid them open because it was like not raining as hard. And I sit down and I'm just looking at everybody, just taking everything in, like taking all the faces. Everybody's talking and laughing and joyful. And then literally all of a sudden the clouds part and the sun comes out.
John Kane was our photographer. He literally told me that night, he's like, "You would not get this gorgeous of a sunset without that rainstorm."
Wow.
I know. So
And so I hope that you can show
Wow.
that, just that
Yes.
to
Absolutely.
tell girls,
Yeah.
because that's one of the biggest stresses, because I love tents and they're one of my favorite, type of weddings is a tented wedding. And we worry about that, of course, all the
Yeah.
time. But, you get these gorgeous sunsets sometimes if it's raining during the morning, during the
Right,
day.
right.
So it
just
all
never
work,
know.
it'll work out. And you never know.
There's
And
a
it is
quote-
good luck.
Yes, right. Yeah, it is. There's a quote that I love. It says, "May the flowers remind you why the rain is so necessary." So
I
it
love
kind of like
that.
goes,
That's
basically the
perfect.
same thing.
Yeah.
So speaking about flowers,
Yes.
we connected because Delia, you called me once, and
Yes.
I think I was helping with customer service, so I happened to answer the phone, which I typically don't actually do.
Right.
And you and I hit it off, and you were looking to preserve Avery's bouquet.
Right.
Not only Avery's bouquet, but actually your bouquet, the mother of the bride bouquet, the lily of the valley as well. It was almost as important
Yes.
for you to preserve that bouquet. So tell me a little bit from your perspective, what did that mean for both of y'all to preserve those flowers?
So looking back now, as the mother of the bride, not the wedding planner.
Yes, of course.
I have 3 things that I can hold on to from that day, because it goes so quickly, And so I've got my pictures, my video, which I don't have yet, which is coming. He
Okay.
told me it's coming.
Yeah.
And then I have this beautiful preservation piece. And so Lily of the Valley was important to my father. And so he would sing this Lily of the Valley song growing up. So Avery wanted me to carry that.
That is so special.
You know, I had that and I was like, I have to preserve this. And I walked into a photography meeting and it was sitting like on a table. And I was like, I have to have that. Like, that is absolutely gorgeous. I knew I was going to carry Lily of the Valley. Today it sits beside my bed and it's just a treasured piece for me because I'm in a different home than her now. And so the bridal portrait, yes, I can get that, or sometimes the bride does, but that's all I have. And so I can look at that every day. And you did an amazing job on it. It is absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you.
My brides, I encourage them to get some type of piece, whether it's pressed or the resin pieces. Just remember that whenever you're in the planning process, you could put it on a bookshelf and you remember that you have that forever.
Yeah. How about you, Avery?
I mean, just know her. It's a beautiful memento from the wedding day. And so she had reached out and it was a gift. I have it perched now in my bedroom. It really was such a cool process just to pick out pressed or resin and then, do we want this or that? And so having all those options made me feel better because it could really cater to my style.
It's so cool because we have 65 different like resin options, like as in like sizes and shapes. And you guys picked something very different. Like you wanted your entire bouquet with the stems, with the ribbon even. And she had a old white peony, very classic bouquet. By the time it arrived, because it was shipped, a lot of the flowers like fell apart, you know, so we had to like glue everything back together and like make it look like her actual bouquet.
Beautiful and looks just like it. And it turned out so
Thank you.
nice.
Thank you. You and I have the pleasure of continuing to work together with your brides and the mother of the brides as well, which I am so thankful for. Tell me what's new and what's coming for Delia Jeffcoat Events.
So in April will be our 5 years. We're going to go through a big rebrand because we are expanding more into corporate planning. So you'll see more of that for sure.
If you want to reach out and contact us, we pretty much answer on all platforms, but email at deliajeffcoatevents.com. Reach out that way. Contact form on our website you can fill out or reach out to us on social media.
Perfect.
Pretty easy.
Awesome.
Thank
well,
you
thank
so
you guys so
much.
much. See you guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Learn about all things wedding straight from the experts. Be sure to like and subscribe to Bridal Club.